Welcome in to the Cavalier Connection. Coming off a big win tonight, the Who's 72-57, a must-win game. I want to welcome everybody in. And Jay, welcome in. Jack is on the road right now, coming back from VHSL state championship games. So you just got the old guys tonight. Jay, how you feeling after that one?
Yeah, feel real good. We had kind of talked about how we thought a week off would be good for this team, and that proved to be true. A little slow start offensively, but once they got going, Georgia Tech really didn't have any answers. Reese was, Reese solid from the start. What did he finish with? 21.
21, tied his career high.
Yeah, 21. I think he had maybe 9 assists, six
And 6
boards, something
rebounds.
like
Yep.
that. I mean, just ACC Player of the Year type performance.
80% from the floor. 8
Yeah, I
for
mean,
10.
he's got to be a all ballot first team player, Um, but we couldn't be happier um, for the guys tonight. A little concerned about about Ryan Dunn's ankle. It looked like it was going to hobble him a little bit there at the end of the first half, but he really turned it around. And Donna says, Jay, for the offense, we agree.
No
The
doubt,
offense looked
Donald.
good. IMAC had 16. It took him a while to get going. I think Jack's guy, Tane Murray, um, big game tonight. Uh, no roadie tonight. Was he sick, injured? I'll be interested to hear. I'm sure it would be horrible reporting if someone didn't ask why no roadie tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to say, what Tony has to say after the game. But everybody came in, gave a lift. And the most important thing is you got the win, and you did it convincingly. The committee is going to look at this as I hope as a good win. It's quad 3. I understand that, but this team has no quad 3, no quad 4 losses. Based on who we're projected to play in the ACC tournament, barring some upset, we won't be playing a quad 3 team or obviously a 4 team in the tournament. I don't see how you leave a 13-7 third place ACC team out of the tournament, regardless of what happens on Thursday. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we did what we had to do tonight. If we win by 2 or 3 and sweat it out, I think we're sweating and need to do something in the tournament. Um, but I think that win was very convincing. Georgia Tech, they've won against quad one games. They've won more quad one games this season than they said 9 of the teams in the top 25. So they're not a pushover,
No.
and so that's a good win. Definitely some concern about with the Ryan Dunn situation because even though offensively, he hasn't been that guy, but defensively, he's been critical. um, Senior night for Beekman to go out that way was unbelievable and really cool. We opened the game with a 3 from Reese, senior Reese, and our last basket I know was unbelievable. Tristan Howe hitting that Michael Jordan fadeaway jump shot, the senior to end his career. That's the way you go out.
Yeah.
So proud. I'm proud. They did have a little bit of a slow start. I'm thinking I think Rhodey has to be sick or injured, but Bennett is very stubborn with certain guys, and he's one of those guys he's been stubborn with all year. And so there's got to be more to this story. And Rhodey seems like a good guy, so I don't
Mhm.
think he was out past curfew or doing something he shouldn't be doing. So I'll
Yeah, I don't think
definitely.
that would be an issue with this team at this time of year, especially. It will be interesting to see. He probably was sick. Did you notice if he was on the bench or not?
He was, and
So if
he.
he
I
was on the
mean,
bench, you can't imagine he's sick.
that's true because you wouldn't put him, and he was right in the middle of the crew, not like off by himself.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I thought I saw him in the middle myself, and I'm like, well, maybe he got banged up in practice. And if you're Tony, you're not going to tell Georgia Tech that because you don't want to give them any any heads up that somebody's not going to play. Um, so
KDC, I'm in full agreement with you. His stats have not lied over the last few games. Um, it's just, Tony Bennett he's got his guys and he doesn't typically go away from his thoughts. So um, it's very, very interesting to find out why Rhodey sat.
yeah, especially because Dante Harris was the guy that kind of scooped up his minutes. It wasn't Gertrude, who, when we talked to Jackie this week from Wahoo's 247, even she was saying, really want to see what Gertrude can do with more minutes because of his ability to penetrate and draw fouls on the defense, and so it was a little surprising that Harris was the guy. I'd have to look at the box score to see why or to see exactly what he shot from the floor, but I know it wasn't good. He had a couple scoop layups, but not a whole lot there. KDC wants to know any idea why Bond's minutes have been limited. Well, I think really what that comes down to is he's a freshman, and I don't think Bennett trusts him right now. And unfortunately, that seems to be kind of one of Coach Bennett's hallmarks. Honestly, freshmen don't play a lot under Coach Bennett. And when he's got guys that he trusts, such as Tane Murray and Rhodey before tonight. Again, we're not sure what happened with Rhodey, but he's going to play the guys he trusts, and it's going to be up to Bond to really kind of earn it in practice. And I think the pack line is such that you can kind of find yourself in the doghouse where with the coaching staff, where us as fans look at it and say, well, he's a much better athlete. We've seen him in the mid-range game be very good from the elbow area, free throw line extended. Why is he not playing? And to be honest, I really think it just comes down to, the pack line positioning. And if you're not doing it in practice, I don't think Tony trusts you to do it in the game. What about you, Jeff?
I'm sure you're right. And tonight is one of those games that it's Virginia's Jekyll and Hyde, and at home the offense was booming tonight. But there are games that we have really struggled to score, and it's games where I just, me personally, let's give Bond a shot, let's give Gertrude a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen? We all of our losses, or the majority, if not all of our losses, have been bad. So what's the hurt in giving him the run? He was getting the run early, and he definitely showed some flashes of some, like you said, the mid range looked good. He's a strong guy, athletic, but you have to be right. The defense in practice has to be why Gertrude and Bonds and the Gertrudes aren't playing. And we've said it. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you brought up about us losing all those games big, and actually saw, and I don't know where it came from, but it was a stat that tracks luck by whatever way they do. And one of the ways they track it is by your record in games decided by 4 points or less. And we've won every single one of those. So, we were actually considered the luckiest team in America, according to that. And I can't remember where it came from, but we were, by statistics, the luckiest team in America.
That's what people say.
It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, that's what people say about that national title too. I'd rather be lucky than good all day.
Oh, for sure.
Donna said, and I'm full agreement, Murray looks for his shot and takes it more often than Rhodey. And Murray, boy, he he could shoot that outside shot, but boy, he could take it to the basket and he gets physical. I like that.
Like, I like that too.
Rhodey, Donna has a good point. Rhodey was getting to the basket himself some, and then he just keeps on dribbling and passes it out. If you got a 6 foot, a 5 foot little shot, take it, because the three's not dropping. And potentially, if you make a couple of those, you're mentally it may help you on that 3-point shot.
Yeah,
But he
and
just doesn't look.
Tane has just he's a system guy. He's a system guy that has played under Bennett. He's waited his turn, and he's come in and just earned his minutes. And those are the guys you love to see because if guys like Bond and if guys like Gertrude will stick around in this era of I'm going to transfer if I don't get to play right away, you see what is capable from a guy like Tane. Oh, friend of the show, Matt Easton. I lose an hour of sleep and you get the loss. Yes, Matt. You're welcome. You're welcome, Matt. He's a Georgia Tech grad, fan of the show. And we appreciate the support, Matt. And you're welcome. You're welcome.
Well worth that hour of sleep lost. And this is the end of his comment. Tech loses. I lose an hour of sleep. Not a good night. Not a good night as a Georgia Tech fan, but as a Wahoo, it's a good night.
Let me sneak this in real quick. Not a good night if you're a Virginia baseball fan.
You're right
Up
about
12-3 in the seventh, and by the time you head to the ninth, you're down, I think 15-12. End up losing or down 16-12. Going to the ninth, lose 16-12. Tough, horrible loss. But we'll stick to basketball for tonight. I wish we could stream Tony's post game. Because I'm really interested to hear an update on Dunn. Even though I know he's not really injured, I want to hear exactly what medical staff might have told him, and then I really want to hear about Rhodey, if he'll give anything like that information wise. But do you think we're on the bubble, Jeff, or do you think this was enough?
We're still on the bubble. If we come out in that tournament, in the ACC tournament, and get beat handily, we're back questioning on Sunday evening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be in that position for sure. But the week off seemed to really help this team. They seem to have fresh legs. The home crowd, to be honest, I was a little disappointed. The crowd didn't really seem overly loud tonight.
They got a little bit better as the game went on.
Better in the second half, for sure.
If Tristan Howe could have hit a shot about every couple minutes, we would have sounded like Cameron Indoor.
Yeah. KDC, you're 100% right. We've got to shoot with confidence. And Georgia Tech's not a very good defensive team, but you still have to make the shots when they're presented, and you got to be willing to take the shot. And so far, in a lot of our losses, they come because we do not actually take the open shots when they're presented to us. I think Grove still passed up some tonight that he could have taken. And I'd like to see him fire every chance he gets. But overall, just really pleased. I think Tony did a great job. And, we got to keep rolling. Oh, friends at the Ohio podcast. What's up, boys? Big win tonight. Looking forward to the ACC tournament. Yes, sir. That's our friends from the Ohio State podcast. They run a great podcast there. I watched one of their episodes on conference realignment, and it was outstanding. And anybody who has some questions about what's going on in conference realignment, I would say take a shot and go listen to them. They're really good at what they do.
Give them a follow.
Yep. From KDC, Georgia was better on the offensive glass. They hit a lot of points off second chance baskets. They've got some quality freshmen. Stoudemire's building a program there. And like you said, Jeff, they've beaten Duke. They've beaten Carolina. They've beaten Clemson. They beat an SEC school that was it? It was one. I don't know if it was one. I don't think it was one of the big guns in the SEC, but it was an SEC quality SEC team. Mm-hmm. And they just, they're talented, but they typically those young teams, when they run into a team that plays defense like Virginia, they don't play well. I mean, because I always use the analogy, Jeff, and you've heard me say this before. Playing UVA is playing the guy at the Y who's like 40 playing with the 20-year-olds, but he plays defense when everybody else is not.
Right.
and he's just a Badger, and you're like, why are you playing so hard, man? This is just a pickup game. But that's Virginia.
Right. That's right.
Nobody wants to play against that guy, and
No,
nobody
that's
wants to
right.
play Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you know, a couple things. I think it went all the way to 6 minutes to go in the game before we got to hear them say, uh, playing against Virginia down 20, that's not an easy comeback. That's, I don't think they gave what that's equal to.
Yeah,
And, and then Beekman, the last basket he hit, he came down, he shot that with probably 27 on the shot clock, that
right,
three.
right.
And I just thought that was pretty funny. Um, but overall, very pleased to get this win. And who's on our? Do we know who's on our side right
So when I
now?
looked, it was before
Because
today,
it's
and
been
it was
moving
looking
quite a
like
bit.
Syracuse was going to be in the 6th seed, but that was before today. I don't know what has gone on as far as how that impacted the
Right.
standings, and they were all so close.
Well, yeah, because Wake Forest could have finished as high as 5 and as low as 9 just with their game today. So
Yeah, it went. I think they could have gotten up to 4 if they'd have won, and
uh,
we had lost.
I think they had to win and Pitt had to lose. Oh,
Okay,
is Wake 4? I thought Pitt was 4. I'm sorry,
Pitt's
Donna.
going to be 4 now. Yes.
Yeah, I think Pitt is 4 now, Donna.
Yep, yep. Pitt's going to be 4, but we're really worried more about the 6-11 versus
Right.
14. 11,
I tell
14.
you,
Whoever wins that will play 6.
I would
And
like Syracuse I'd like to have Syracuse as at 6.
yes, yeah, I definitely like to see Syracuse in the first round. I feel good about that matchup. We got them early in the year in Charlottesville and kind of took it to them, and I think it would be a good matchup for us in that setting. And to be honest, you know, when assuming you win that first ACC game, and that's a big assumption. I'm not doing that, but if you do win that, um, you're in the 3 seed. You're probably looking at Duke. Can I be honest for a second? I know Carolina just beat Duke, and they beat them twice this year, but I'd rather play Carolina than Duke. Am I crazy for that? I mean, we just play Carolina better.
History says you're not crazy.
Yeah, I so that's tough. Um, but as far as our prospects go, I said in the last podcast, I thought we were in with a win tonight, regardless of ACC tournament, barring like a 30-point loss, like you said. So I think we're in. I just don't think the committee can go behind those doors, and you can't come out and say 13-7 in the ACC is just not good enough when you don't have the quad 3 and quad 4 losses. Yeah, we got blown out a lot, but we have no losses to bad teams, and you shouldn't be penalized
Yeah.
for that.
Notre Dame's a bad loss.
But it's not a quad 3.
But it's
So when I
yeah.
say bad loss, I
I know what
mean,
you're saying. I know what you're
yeah,
saying. Losing 4 out of the last 6 until tonight was tough. That's why we had to take care of business. I said we need to go all the way to the end. Even right there at the end, I'm thinking, Tony, tell him go take that free layup.
yeah.
Let's
Get
push it to
every
17.
basket. Get every basket you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hoping we'd keep pushing and get it up to 30.
Well, he left McNeely in the game all the way to the end, so I was like, well, maybe they're going to try to get a 3 off.
Right.
And the other thing too, if Virginia's scoring 72, so a final score of 72-57, though, two of the committees got to be equivalent to if it's Kentucky,
115.
115 to 72.
Yeah. So, well, we love the interactiveness of the post game show tonight. Anybody else out there got any questions? So Donna just said, I saw one bracket with our being in a playoff game. I think she's referring to the NCAA tournament, Jeff.
Yeah.
Where a lot of
11.
brackets have us playing in Dayton.
Yep.
And the some
11.
people call it the play-in game. Some people, I think they officially call it the first round.
Yeah.
Which is not the first round. But I would be really disappointed if they sent us to Dayton. Again, I know what what Lenardi says and those guys say, but I'm gonna tell you, if you win on Thursday, this is gonna be, I think, a conversation that we don't need to have. I just don't think they send us to Dayton. I don't think we're one of the last four in. And I don't think
I
after
don't either.
tonight we will be either, but we'll see.
We went on Thursday. I think we're securely in, and we're not a first four in a first four matchup. Um, but go ahead.
What scares me is you play Duke and you lose by 30, and that's the last thing the committee sees
Right.
is they bump you 10. It's like none of these teams have flaws but us.
Did you? I mean,
I really don't get it.
Kansas lost by 30 points today.
Right.
Kansas. You don't
There's a
expect
lot
to
of
see
teams
those
out
things.
there. Like I said, New Mexico's on the bubble. They're playing Utah State tonight, and they keep saying, "Oh, it's a huge game. They can get in if they win this one against Utah State. Big freaking whoop." you, you put Utah State in the ACC and see what happens to them. It's
Well,
a load of crap that the ACC is getting thrown on consistently.
that's the story. I mean, that is the story right now, and that's the story every year. As far as there's teams, we welcome them to come into the ACC to boost our ACC record. Um, what was our final ACC record?
13-7.
13 and
It's an
7. I mean,
outstanding year.
yeah, there's teams who are considered above us on the bubble or inside the tournament whose conference records don't look anything like that. To
Consider
include
Clemson.
Clemson Tigers,
Yeah, Clemson 11-9, I think,
right? And I
and
think they
they're like a
finished,
6th seed.
yeah, and they
It's
lost. Well,
insanity. It's insanity.
yeah, them losing to Wake Forest today, of course, that boosts Wake Forest, and Clemson's got to start taking a little bit of a dive. I haven't been able to understand them and their projected seeding, but Lunardi, everything he's not God. Everything he says is not going to come true. We know everything's not going to be what he's put out. So we'll find out. I'm excited for the ACC tournament. Starts up on Tuesday. We'll be playing on Thursday, and we hit an 8-game winning streak this year. So wouldn't it be nice to hit a little 4-game winning streak?
Hey, wouldn't it be
Tonight.
nice to hit a 10-game winning streak?
10 would even be better.
Starting with number 1 tonight, and
I'm with you. But
I'd be
we'll
like
see.
Al Bundy selling my soul to the devil to get that one, I think.
Oh gosh. Yep, Donna, we're with you. Go Who's. Go Who's. Um, so I think you ready to wrap this one up, Jay? If anybody
Yeah,
else
let's
has any
take it on
questions out
home.
there, if not,
Let's take it on home. We'll give a last minute. Any questions coming in? Speak now, forever hold your peace. We really appreciate all of the interaction tonight, and I'm sure we'll be back with a podcast before the game on Thursday. Maybe we'll have a guest. I'm not sure yet. We're always working on the guests for you guys. We love having the guests.
and if any of you out there have any connections, somebody who you'd like to hear or would like to come on to the show, we'd love to have them. From young and old, recruits to one of my favorite interviews we've done. We did Junior Burrow, and so we bring them all on. We love to hear what they have to say about this Wahoo program, and just can't wait for this tournament this week. So definitely we'll be on this week with something pre-tournament, and I'm sure hopefully we'll be able to go live after a big Virginia win on Thursday night. We're in session 2, right?
Yep.
And I think
We'll be in the second
last
session.
game.
We should be the last game of the night.
Last game
9:30
is
tip around roundabout. So it'll be a late night. Friday might have to be a work from home day for me. If Matt, you're still listening.
I'm actually going to be out on Friday of work, so that's not too bad.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow for church. This setting the clock forward stuff.
Oh yeah.
Can we all just get a time?
It's 11:20 right now, and Donna said, "Yep, we're playing at 9:30." So
Yeah.
Excited for that one, and I'm happy with what I envisioned our bracket was looking like, and I liked our chances to get at least to the Final Four of the ACC tournament.
I
Uh,
agree. Final four or
but
bust
I was to say,
for the
Jay,
ACC tournament.
I think what we need to do for our listeners is we need to create, once the tournament bracket comes out, we need to create the Cavalier Connection tournament bracket and let all our listeners jump in
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. The
see who's the
bracket
best of the
challenge.
best. So we'll have what? We'll have like 150 entries, and it'll be 150 UVA national champions.
I'm gonna win that one then because there'll be 149.
Oh,
You
but
play to win the game,
that's
Jeff.
right. That's right. But yeah, we thank everybody for coming, tuning in tonight, and for the comments and the participation. And we look forward to talking to everybody later in the week. Definitely give us a follow. Jay, tell us where to follow us at.
Yeah, on Twitter at Talk UVA Sports. Right here on YouTube, you're with us. If you're on Twitter watching, you've already found us. Facebook, the Cavalier Connection. Hopefully, some of you have joined us from there. We're still working on getting the live stream to get to that spot, but eventually we'll get that figured out. And yeah, we appreciate all your following and your comments and likes, and please give us a subscribe to our channel. It really helps with the algorithms for our videos getting out to other people, and that's how we grow the channel, and that's how we grow the brand of UVA, which we all love. So we really appreciate that, and it would be a big help. So we ask you to do that for us, and go Hoos.
Go Who's.